Eilach Mone, take 100 Jews. Viskachile Ploini, get married to Ploini. Again, what we have a third party pays for your marriage. Instead of the husband giving money to the woman, somebody else gives for him the money to the woman. Eilach Mone, Viskachile Ploini. The law is Bekudesha Medin or Evet Kanani. She's married. Bekudesha Medin Evet Kanani. Who's Evet Kanani? Evet Kanani. She's a Goya, a slave, a Goya slave. Lav Aval Kanani, it's a general language of a Goy. Because Hashem said in the Torah that Canaan, which is the son of Ham, will be Eved forever. So Canaan is a symbol of avodim, of slaves. That's what Noah cursed. Ham will be Eved. Eved Avadim. So therefore Canaan is a symbol of Eved. So Eved Canaan, even though the loy kachosa v'loy midi, he didn't lose in nothing. He didn't lose in anything. Kakon dinafshi, yet can acquire himself freedom. How does the Eved Kanani becomes free? Any money he owns, the master owns. She needs somebody else to give for him, then he doesn't own it. He doesn't lose anything. And then when somebody pays for him, he acquires himself. So what do we have? We have a way they're free. Eved Kanani can never be free with money. If I give him a gift, right away his master owns it. See, how can he free himself? So the only way that I can give him is all with condition on Menashe and Rabbi, whether condition works or not. Or somebody else pays direct. He pays directly to the master. Pays directly to the master. Ebed Kanani nikne bekesed chazoke. Bekonis atzmo bekesed. Bekesed le'acherim. Bekesed through others. Ubeshtal de'atzmo. That's the way Bekanani gets released. Chol bekesed de'atzmo. Esef he can give himself. Question how? Which means a slave can never be redeemed. Only if somebody else pays for him directly to the master, through others, or which means if everybody gave or kibel matona koil leraboy. If he wants to redeem himself, I'm reading Rashi enough Chavbeis Amud Beis. So he has to be from other people's money. We call in English OPM, the Rosh Hashanah. OPM, other people's money. So he needs to be other people's money. They will give him with condition that his master cannot own it. So a slave cannot be free from his own money. If he finds money or he gets a gift or he owns money right away, his master owns it. Talk about a Goisha slave. The Goisha slave, his body is acquired to the master. So whatever he owns, it belongs to his master. You're looking for papers, Rabbi Emerson. That paper is right. Good. It's a very expensive need here. So now,
Like
so Eved Kanani, which since his master owns his body, a Jew is not a slave. A Jewish slave is not. It's just his master have dominion over him in reference to work. We call it fruit. You can use him to work. But Eved Kanani Kaspo is just for money, to do work. After 6 years, he goes out free. But Eved Kanani, the master owns his body. Doesn't need to do Truma. Evet Kanani is called King and Kaspo. It means that the master owns his body. In what way? They cannot cut his limbs, but he owns He can sell him. He owns intrinsically his body. Eved Kanani, Gosh slave. So Eved Kanani, whatever he finds or he owns, he gets a gift right away. His master owns it. The only way he can be redeemed is two options. Or somebody gives him a gift with condition who belongs to his master to work. Or is through others. What does through others? It means others pay direct to the master for the sake of the slave. Now we want to investigate this concept. What does it mean? Others, they don't give it to the slave. Because of the mezakah to the slave, midin zechia, right away the master will own it right away back. So they can never redeem it. If they really a shliach, a messenger of the slave, giving for the slave the money, and really they makin it, they acquire the money to the slave, and they want to give that to the master, they can never really do it because right away, the minute they give it to the slave, the master owns it. So they can on his own. So therefore, he never really got money to be paid to redeem it. The only way to do it is the others paid the master directly for the sake of the slave, and the slave never owns it, never owned the money.
Also, there's no zechia, I think. That's
why there's no zechia. First one is a goy. I don't know. Yes, that's a shayla. Eved has shlichus or not. Goy definitely has no shlichus, but an eved, talk about. But Eved is chayv mitzvah. Eved Kanani is chayv mitzvah like a woman, so it's different. So in the Chodesh should have shlichus. But Eved has shlichus. Only here you cannot be shliach of the slave because right away the master will own the money. So you just can pay for him. You transfer the money to the bank of the master, and that's it. And then the slave is free. No, they didn't. No. And that's what the Gemara wants to extend this concept to he and Isha. Later on, the Gemara says also for money. You can buy land with the same idea, or you can acquire a woman the same idea. Even though we're jumping from redemption to acquirement. So redemption, there's no ma'asekin. Redemption is you give the money. It's a fact, and he's redeemed unless you say he's a slave. He's acquired to the master. You need to acquire him back. It's also key. You have to acquire his ownership away. So money is acquirement to ownership. And if money by others, through others, can acquire the slave to be free for himself, to be free. So the acquisition is he's acquiring himself for himself from the ownership of the master for him to be himself, to be free for himself. So somebody else paid for him. So that's the Gemara again. So the Gemara wants to extend it to Eved Kanai. Eilach, one of his kachi leploini, take 100 Jews and be married to Ploni somebody else. So a third party's paying for the husband to buy his wife. Your friend comes and he gives money to a woman. Says, here money, and he get married to my friend, to Ploni. It works. Midin Eved Kanai from the law of Eved Kanai. Eved Kanai, the same way a slave of a goy, lava valgav, even though is not missing and nothing. It's not missing and nothing means there's no loss and there's no giving nothing from his side. Yet, the slave can acquire himself to be free. This man also, which is going to be the husband, even though he's not missing in anything, he didn't miss anything, he didn't lose anything. He acquires this woman. He wins a woman, right? Depends which type of woman it is. It's a winner. You're a winner or a loser, or a half-half. Whatever it is, you acquire this woman. It's a good question. A slave, somebody pays for you to be free. Not that you're happy. Don't worry, be happy. Why you're happy, you're free. Being a slave to be free is definitely zechus. But by a woman, you can't say marrying a woman is a zechus. It depends which type of woman she is. She's good for me or not. All women are good and all men are good. Not all women are good for all men. You can't say she is a woman. Depends what type of woman. Not only not to marry her without seeing her, because after the kamoicha.
We learned that for the woman it's a schus.
Yes. She doesn't want to tell him but doesn't mean the man. The man, he can choose. He wants to choose. He wants to choose, and not only that, at the moment when he's stuck with this type of woman, and nobody will give him another woman. Even in the days that a man married a couple of girls, a couple of women, yet nobody gave his daughter. No woman got married to a man which was another woman. Because you're not going to give me the intention. What I'm going to give my daughter to you when you have other women in your house? Sorry, find somebody else, another familia, not my daughter. So Lichoy doesn't want to give his daughter. So says not only maybe it's a schus for the woman, but if a man is not a schus, because he's stuck with this woman. While he's stuck with her, nobody's giving another one. So let's see here, Rashi. I'm reading Rashi. This is third line from the top. There's a third line from the top. Take 100 zuz. A man tells a woman, takes 100 zuz, be skatchi leploini, and get engaged, get kiddushin to ploini. Somebody else, my friend. So Rashi adds, top of the page, 3 lines on the top, Rashi adds, Behu shluchoi. I'm reading in the Gemara, Rashi in the Gemara. Behu shluchoi. And this third party that's giving the woman money for you, for the husband, Behu shluchoi, and he's your messenger. Elo, rather, shemekacha mishaloi. He's mekadosh the woman for the sake of his friend. He's giving the money to this girl for the sake of getting married to his friend. Really, he's a messenger of the husband. They get married to marry this girl for him. They give this money for him. But the chiddush is that the money doesn't come from the messenger, from the sender. The money comes from the shliach, from the messenger. So it comes out that he didn't give anything. He got a woman, no money paid. What?
Yeah, but wait a minute. Why is he a shliach?
The Rotzai to get married to this girl.
Who appointed him?
And normally, when I send someone to do something for me, I can have 2 types of shliach: to do something for me and act, or I want and you go do an acquisition. I give you money, go buy. Give you a stock, go buy for me, go write a stock. But
Shalom, and not from the
Shalom, not from the Mekadesh.
It's Mekadesh from the money to Mekadesh.
Yes, the third party is giving the money on his own from his own pocket. He's not going to be maybe not even with a return as a gift.
Another guy's money.
Definitely. If he uses what do you mean? If he uses my money, it's not even his client.
Someone else gives the money for me.
Right. So but if you give the money of the slave, he won't because it belongs to the master. That's to be outside money. Who's his?
The Mekadesh.
The Meshaleach, good.
That's not called the
Right.
But it's not a Mekadesh.
And why is not called a Rekanai? Because the whole idea of the Rekanai, they cannot own his own money. Because any money that the slave owns, the master owns, he never really gave it. Has to be external money. Somebody else has to give money for him, and it cannot be his own. So, Bimelo, same thing is here. The third party paid for your marriage, but the money is not yours. You didn't give it to him to pay it for you. Third party. Rashi says, but he made him a shliach. He made him a shliach to do the kiddushim. So with what?
How could he make him a shliach?
The husband or the third party? No, let's read Rashi again. Take this 100 zuz and be married to Pliny, to my friend. And this third party is a messenger. Messenger of what? So the husband sent the shliach to say Aram Mekudeshes for him. Good. So who says Aram Mekudeshes? The husband or the messenger? In reality. Very good. That's what he says. Because I can send a messenger to Mekadesh a woman for me. And he says, the difference is, rather he does the kiddushin from his own private money. The money of who? The money of the shliach, not of the messenger, not of the sender.
We don't need here in this case the chosar ve'ova, because we don't need the
How do we know the
You don't
guy
need
sent
chosar
him?
ve'ova. Why we don't need? Because he's a shliach. Let's see the first statement of Rove again. Omar Rove.
Who made him a shliach?
The woman tells a man, you should give money to a third party and I'll marry you. Rashi says, and when he gives the money to a third party, he tells his kachi. So who's the Mekadesh? Not the woman that she gave money to this guy. Sorry. Not the woman that gave instruction to the husband, give money to the third party, I'll marry you. But she cannot marry him. She cannot do the action. She cannot speak, cannot say. So when he gives the money to the third party, the husband says, he opens his mouth and he speaks. But here's different. In the second case is somebody gave money for you from his own money. Not that you gave him money to do an action for you. No, he gave his own money and he informed the woman that you want to marry her. You're giving money to the woman and informing her this money is for the sake of Kiddushin. That's where it stops now. Rashi says, he's not only giving money and he tells her this money for the sake of Kiddushin, my friend, he also does the Maaseh Kiddushin. Because Vehu Shluchoi is his messenger of the husband. Not only he paid money on his own for him, he is his messenger to do the Maaseh Kiddushin and the Amira. Arei at Mekudeshes Leploini. You are married to my friend. 2 Eidim have to be there. 2 witnesses have to be there. The rabbi is the Masada Kiddushin. The woman wears a white garment, a white dress, whatever it is. It's a joke, but you don't need that. But we do that as a ceremony. But we definitely need 2 witnesses. So when do we need 2 witnesses? According to Rashi, the Kiddushin is hal through pain. A pain that pointed others that redeemed them at Knaini. Also here, somebody else gives money for the sake of his friend, and he is a messenger to do the action and to do the dibur HaMekudeshes. So those are the words of Kiddushin. It is his messenger. So he can do the mice and the dibur. And just the only thing is we need to learn from Eved Knaini, because here the sender didn't give the messenger the money to marry somebody, to give him to this woman for him. Rather, he just sent him to do the action. But the money came from somebody else. Yet Mekudesh. What's the Chiddush? Rashi says, even though the mamoin shel meshalechu, even though the money that has been given to the woman to be acquired to the husband is not the sender's money, it's not the husband's money, it's the messenger's money. He took on his own and he spent. It could be he gave it as a gift and he will never get it back. Yet Mekudeshes midin Eved Knaini. We learn here, the Gemara says, Rov is Mekadesh, that we extend, the rabbis extend the concepts. Although the Torah only spoke about Eved Knaini, the Torah says when you have a non-Jewish slave being acquired with money, he needs to work for his master. And then if somebody wants to redeem him, he gives money for him to redeem him. The Gemara, the rabbis extend this idea to a Jewish woman, to acquire land, to acquire a Jewish woman. That when somebody else gives, a third party gives money to the woman for the sake of his friend, works. Let's see Rashi. The Dan Masisle, come on. It says in the Mishnah page 22b, and non-Jewish slaves can acquire himself with money through others. How? I'm reading Rashi. Others exempt, others redeem him with their money. cannot be his money because it belongs to his master. And he acquires himself, and he goes out for free. Freedom. Even though I'm reading Rashi. Yeah. No, it's Rashi Navzai. That's the source. Could be it's in the pages too, yes. Rashi in the pages too. They quote the Rashi inside. The Afal Gavin, even though the Lechotzar Iu by Mamoin Midi, even though Afal Gavin, even though the Lechotzar Iu, he didn't have any loss. Iu is him. Chosar is loss. The Lechotzar, there's no loss by him at all. By my money, this money, meaning anything. With this money, there was no loss at all by him. Yet is redeemed. Also here, a husband can acquire money. Acquire a woman that somebody else pays for him, and I lose anything. It was a total gift with no loss. He's not giving me a gift. He's not asking the money for. He's not giving me a gift. Me giving a gift. So then, by a slave, it belongs to the master again. He's not giving me a gift. He's giving for my sake, for me, not to me, for me. He's giving bishvili. No, he's not giving me, the husband, a gift. He's giving for me. So this woman, in the name of, this woman received money for the sake of bishvil, to be married. So even though I didn't lose the money, so and he does, and who does the kinyan? He. How can he do the kinyan? Who is he? It's not me. How can he do it? He needs my agreement. And so the Mishliach. So the Maisa he does with the Mishliach. But the money, which does the Maisa kinyan kiddushin, the kiyikach, these kiyikach has a mira of kiyikach, and has a Maisa giving, and it has losing money. I will divide, this is really the opening of the sugi. I will divide the Maisa Kiddush to 3 parts. It's very important. I think this is an opening for the whole sugi. I will divide the Maisa Kiddushin to 3 parts. One is the Amira. Second thing is the giving of the money. It's called Maisa Kicha. It has to be Pruta, it can be less.
Same action with
Action, Maisa Kinyan. Now, Maisa Kinyan, because Shmuel says there's 2 levels. There's one Maisa Kinyan mitzat kol Kula, and another Maisa Kicha of Kicha. Okay. And Maisa Kicha has his own dinim. It's a Bishove Pruta, can be Chalipi.
what is it?
I don't know, 2 Maisa Kinyanim. One Maisa mitzat Kinyan kol Kula. Kinyan. You have to have das for his Kinyan. You have also das of Kicha. And that's dinim. And whatever the dinim is, it spreads to many things. Now, no moment. So if it has to come from him, and she has to mafkir herself, as a Maisa Kicha. Number 3, the loss of money has to come from the one who does the Maisa Kinyan of money. Kinyan Kesed means is not just giving an act of money. To the level we saw, money has to have money of ano. Money of Kiddushin has to be money of ano. But Thomas Lazar it doesn't work with the Rambam. That's the definition of money of Kicha. So money with ano. But not only that, the money, the ownership of the money has to be yours. We learned from Evet Kanaini that the loss of money, Chesroy Momen, can be for you. It doesn't have to come from you. But the Maisa Kinyan and the Dibur of Kicha, the Maisa Kinyan and the Maisa Kicha, and the Dibur of the Maisa Kicha, that Evet Kanaini doesn't teach me. Or no? I said 3 things. One is Dibur, one is Maisa Kicha, and one is the Chisoron Moment.
But we said we don't have time, Tony.
Tom is Evet Kanaini, and definitely teaches me that the Lechosav Midi, as Rashi says, Agav the Lechosav Iu by Mamon Midi, yet it works. But 1 second. But we don't learn. 1 second. I don't know what to do here. I know all that. See, I have to try. Listen. Siyata Nishma. But the basic key does Eved Kanaini teaches me that I don't need to be choser and the basic key that somebody else does for me. Here's a chalois of Zechir Shlichus the Maise is me, or it's only reference to the Chesol and Mama. That's how I divided the two, the three. Amira, Maise, and Chesol and Mama. According to Rashi, we only learning that the Chesol and Mama can be through a third party. But we're not learning that that third party can do a Maise for you without you sending a Shliach. You cannot speak without sending a Shliach. So when Rashi says Vushluchoi, it goes on the Dibur, it goes also on the Maise. Maise Kingdom. Both. It's only one thing we're learning. We're only learning one thing from Shlichus, from Eved Kanaim. That you don't need to be Chosa. Doesn't have to be Chesoron from you. But even let's say you don't care as Chosa, but who does? But I need him to be a Shliach for the Maise, only for the Dibur. When Rashi says Vushluchoi, it's for the Dibur or for the Maise? What? I can't hear three people, so I want to hear the oldest rabbi.
Does that make a problem for us because it's not like Ebed Kanani, or that's making it like Ebed Kanani, or none of the above?
None of the above. It's nothing to do with Adrab. Since Ebed Kanani only fills up the point that the money cannot be your chesoron.
Your money, someone else.
Somebody else chesoron. Okay, but you still need a maise. Right. But I need a maise, but I need a maise, but I need a maise.
Is Rashi making problems for us, or is he helping us?
He's helping us. Because Rashi understands that the maise kiddushin was done by the third party. Ushalmi, like Rashi. Rashi, we have Rashbo, we have Tesesrin, we have Ritva that argues, we have Chaim Alevi, Rambam. Who gives? So in order to solve this problem, Rashi is I only learn from Eved Kanaini that the Chesoron moment doesn't have to come through you. But the Maise Kinyan and the Dibur of Kiddushin has to come from you. Who Shluchoi? The Meshalech, the husband. The husband. So that's what Rashi says. Vehu Shluchoi. Or Vehu Aso Shluchoi is Al-Girs of the Rashba. It's only one point Midiv Lekrai. That's what it is. Even though the money is not the Meshalech.
So that's not.
It's not the Lekrai.
It says it.
Because Eved Kanaini, I didn't make the Acherim my Shlichim.
He doesn't have,
You don't need to.
because it's here to be free.
But it's here to be free, but it's not as a the money. It's here the money, you cannot mezaket to him. As much as Eved Rabbi. You cannot free him. So they're not mezaket the money, they give money for him. But the mezaket, the chaloy is the result, the chaloy chichu is the mezaket to him. It's here v'shlichus. Through Zechir, you have shlichus to him. That's the result, to be free. But the mitzad, the Maise Kinyan, Pidyon, somehow, it's only the money is through others. But I don't make him a shliach. The Eved didn't make him a shliach in the Maise Kinyan of Pidyon. It's a Pidyon, it's a reality. Pidyon is not a Maise, maybe it does a result of Kinyan. Koines atzmoi bel de'acheim, he's coined himself de'acheim. There's no Maise Kinyan of Kesef, like acquiring land, acquiring, I don't know, maybe it is, but who, because if it is, who appointed that Haim to do a Maise for you? Even though you're not a Shliach on the Maise. What? Because you can't. Because otherwise, what?
Yeah, you cannot.
Because it's a Zaviyat. He cannot appoint your share as Zaviyat. So he cannot even point the others to do a Maise. Not only he cannot own the money, because he doesn't have a yad to appoint the Shliach. He's zero. So he cannot appoint someone to do Maise Kinyan for him. It's exactly how that works. The Kovetz Shiurim said We learned it last year. And Mobasri learns that reference, and again, Gitim we learned, that reference for things which are personal, the person to be redeemed, the Torah does give schuyot, and the concept of Gito v'yodaboim kech. His get and his yad comes in the same moment. How does it work in the same moment? When he gives him a get, right away it belongs to the master. That's how he frees himself. He never have a hand to receive a shtar to be redeemed. One says, Gito v'yodaboim kech, this get in his hand comes in one shot. What does that mean? Right? So Kovitchurim said it means that reference to private things, like for example, to eat. When it comes to my mouth, I own it. Master doesn't own what I eat. He said certain personal needs was not included in the kinyan of master to his slave. And certain rights of freedom that allow me to be free from him, it's my personal rights that the master never had ownership of. That's what means kinyan yodom kecho. He cannot give him the hand before, because he's taken away from the master. The hand to be free, the second of freedom, that he does have a hand. And the Torah did give him a hand. That's the Kovitchurim svol. It's a nice svol, which I always remember. It's a good svol. But anyhow, so maybe we'll say the same thing is, money through acherim, he cannot be that I'm sending him as a shliach, because I don't have the hand to send him as a shliach. Eved Knaini, his body has been acquired to his master. So there, the money is being spent, the chisaron moments through others, and also the maisekinyan is through others. But that chidush of a maisekinyan through others is a chidush of Eved Knaini that we do a tek copy paste to kiddushin. Only do copy paste the chisaron moment. But the maisekin, which is a chidush atoiro in Eved Knaini, the maise freedom, the maise kinyan of the act of kinyan kesef to free to point him lecherus, to do a kinyan cherus. That kinyan maise kinyan to do pinyan lecherus, without we don't copy Tevet Klein. Oh no, that also we copy. That the money can come through others, and the maise kinyan with the money can come through others. With their money, their maise, nothing with you. But the shlichus is only by kiddush in reference to the dibur, by rotzai. So that is not clear. I want to clarify as hakira. Going to Rashi. What does Eved Knaini is mekadesh? Eved Knaini is only mekadesh the chisaron monos. That's why I told you I divided the three. Is chisaron momonim, maisekinyan, and dibur. By Eved Knaini, I have chisaron momonim through others, and the maisekin through others. By kiddushin, I have chisaron momonim through others, but the maisekinyan and the dibur cannot be through others. It has to be the master, has to be the husband. So if he appoints, he makes him a shliach. So then he can do the maise kiddushin and the dibur because he's a shliach of the Mashalech. And I can make, and the husband can make his friend to be a shliach, to make a maise for him, and to make a dibur for him. Because the maise, it's part of the gemilas das. The maise is part of his wish. I want to marry this woman. So maise, and I'm going to marry. So do the gemilas das for me. When you speak, is the gemilas das for me. We do a maise as part of the gemilas das. It's all part of me. So I can make him a shliach. The maise. What about his someone moment and his so moment? That I don't know. That's one option. Oh no. I don't know. His someone moment was the maise. And the dibur I need shlichus.
I have a question.
Yes.
Even in Chisaron moment.
Yes.
For me, I have a question because who says that we can learn? I know that the Gemara says from Eved Knaini.
Correct.
But we can mark a very important difference between the cases.
Why?
Between Shlichus and Evet Knaini.
Yeah.
Because Evet Knaini, like Rabbi Aaron said, is zero.
Yes.
So there is nobody in the middle.
Yes.
So I deal with the owner of the Evet. Maybe I have more power. Like I have the right to use the money to release him to make fear. The Torah says because the Evet is zero. It's like a child.
Right.
So the father interferes. But in Shlichus, the husband has the mitzvah to give his money.
Which father? I don't want to talk about father.
Good days that the other guy.
I'm sorry, talking about father. Let's go back to Evan. I didn't get what you said by Evan. Evan what?
in Evet Klein is a zero.
Right.
He has no.
They have somebody else to give money for him.
So it's a call. It's call to interfere through money to release him through owner to release him. But in a marriage, that the mix of the Torah is that the husband has to make the ma'aser
Kika Kishisha.
and give money.
Right.
So who says that the shaliach can interfere with his own money to marry the woman instead of the husband? Because and both are Jews. Both are Jews. So he has certain power. Like and the other case, no. Like the Evet Klein is a zero. I don't know if I'm explaining myself.
Explain yourself. Yes, Gan Limud. How come Chazal learned from Evet Kanaini to a woman, to Pliny? Pliny is a Jew, and somebody does money for him. He has to do it himself. You can do it yourself. Since you could, you should do. But by Evet, you can't. It's good point. But Chazal didn't learn like it. Chazal said we do expand from Efsha to Efsha. Although by Evet Kanaini Efsha, also here. Even though there's also Efsha, because you can give him a Menashe and Rabbi Reshusbo. You can give the slave money with a condition, matone, that the master will have Reshus. It's possible. But Akoponi, the Gemara does learn one from another. The Limud, Amimatzin. Maybe that's the Dechia to your Svora. Because there's also Efsha. A slave has the ability to get matone with Al Menashe and Rabbi Reshus. What do you want to say?
Why should we compare?
By the
time we got to the last day, we have more of an answer.
Yes. What do you want to ask? Yes. What do you want to ask?
When Rashi says Gilut Adat, Gilut Adat, like it's mean that
Where Rashi says Gilui Dara, what's those words?
Gilut Adat, like it's mean like
Where does Rashi say those words? What?
The people are saying you don't hear them.
I don't know how to handle it. You know how to handle this up?
I don't know.
What the press? Good they didn't hear you, Rabbi.
What, Nick?
It's good they didn't hear you.
I'm joking.
Rabbi asks, how do you know that Yeshiva speaks?
Because Rashi goes on what the Shliach says. Eilach moni viskachi leploini. Who says that? That third party. Who shluchoi. So Rashi on what he says a Shliach. Says Mashman is that goes on the depot and also on the mice. But on the mice is not clear. Definitely on the depot. Question is, do I need him also on the mice or not? It's Hakira. We're going to investigate. We'll see the cases. We'll see. I don't know the Rambam. I don't know yet. He already jumped to conclusion. I don't know. There's a whole world here. What?
This kasha, the very tradition. What does it say?
What?
You have a Hekesh, every tradition.
Yes.
No, maybe ages balance each other. So Rashi should bring it. That's what makes the whole thing.
Okay. Yes, he started to speak about it like shit. Where do you see Gilui Dara? I don't see those words.
Rashi is better that we need to work with
Yes.
You gotta send it
What are you saying?
more clear.
the Kiddushin for Rashi
Yes.
is available only when he denied the Sharia.
Yes. According to Rashi, the only way she get Mikudesh is when he sent him as a shliach. Yes.
Rashi
Even though the spending of the money was not from the pocket of the sender, rather of the shaliach, of the messenger. Okay.
When Rosh Hashanah speaking, it's working. I don't know why it's not clear.
So
Okay, good.
So what is the
Thank you, Aaron.
what is
You said it to this today, you said that you get the biggest.
I receive it. So what is
Yes.
what is it? If
My hakir is very simple. It's not my hakir. It's Machlokes Rishonim. But just opening the sugya for you guys to think. When Rashi, I want to make it hakir in Rashi. Okay, make it easy. I have hakir in Rashi. When Rashi says "Vu shluchoi," what does the shlichus take upon himself? Is the dibur also on the ma'asekinyan? On the chesaron mamon, we definitely, the Gemara says chesaron mamon, we learned from him with Knaim. But what about the ma'asekinyan and the dibur? Does the ma'asekinyan dibur, that's the shlichus takes over that? Vushluchoi, the reason why Rashi says vushluchoi, because although the money doesn't have to be spent from you, but the ma'asekinyan has to come from your agreement. The dibur has to come from you or through you or through somebody who's get a messenger. So vushluchoi goes on the ma'asekinyan of kicha. No.
It's a chiyuv.
What?
It's a chiyuv. So if it's not a shlichus on the kinyan, it's not in shalom b'volim.
1 second.
Because it's
Just think. Okay. Lifnei was a good song. Very good. Good song. Good song. Good. We'll see. What?
Yeah, you
Question about that.
Now, Rabbi Peter and others mentioned the Rambam. Okay? The Rambam. In the papers, we have Ritva. Open the Ritva. It's on the second page. Small little Ritva. Second page, number 2. Now, this time we perfected our papers, the Diaspora Yeshiva papers. We put numbers. Made it better. Numbers. Hidush HaRitva, Masech Hidush Azan Amud Aleph. Ein Rachmone Niskachi Leploini. Somebody from the street gives money to the woman. He says, take this money and marry Ploini. Bikudeshes Medime Kanani. Pirush. Explanation. Holy. This we dealing. The She'eina Noisem Shlucho Shel Mekadesh. The giver is not the messenger of the husband, the Mekadesh. Not like Kashi. No. It's not what I'm saying. To the two people to understand better what she's saying. Shenoisen Kesef Misheloi, he gives money from his own, Kedei in order Shetiskadesh Bori Leze, in order his money, she'll be Mikodeshes to his friend, Leze to this other guy. In this is that we come on to learn the small from Kevan since Shekain Tzorich, since this way we need. The Kevan Shekain, since it's so, Tzarich shows the point in your mouth. We need the husband to say, you sleep. You are to me, the castle with the money, which money? Can you marry without money? No bicycling, no money. The castle shall not loch money. Shetiskade she will marry to me. No, we don't say here. We don't say like his giving. He's arguing with Rashi. Not Rashi. He's saying he's not a shliach. Listen. I'll explain once because I have to leave. I'll finish with this, Blinada. He says that the giving of the money was through somebody else. And then the husband goes and he says, you married to me with the money that Loini gave you to marry. And the Ritvok defines that the Maise Nesina, not the chisaron mamon only. Only, O-N-L-Y, not only the chisaron mamon, he says, rather, l'amrino nocho de nesinas acher bishvilo choshi kenesinosoy. It considered without shlichus, no shlichus by Eved, it's choshim kenesinosoy, like you gave. Basic giving of the money. So 1 second. So then later, 10 days later, the husband meets the woman. He says, "You are married to me with the money we gave." So where's the Ma'asekinyan 10 days ago? What will happen if the money got destroyed in between? We're going to talk about tomorrow, mañana, and see the Tosasri. It's 1 second. The Tosasri, you can see it on the spot. We have, sorry, what do we have on the page? We have Rabbeinu Hanan. Where's Tosasri Azok? I don't have it. Okay, if you look there, Tosasri I don't have it here. I can come over here. And others on the full sheet. Anyhow, he says that the Kiddushin is now. Ashto Mekadashlo. And he says, with what? He tells, if you're not marrying me, give back the money to Pliny. When you marry me, Moicher, so then in exchange of not paying the money, giving back the money, I'm Mekadosh you now, which the mice in the scene is now. So we have 3 options. Let's some of us have to go learn it better, and tomorrow we'll discuss what they hold. According to Rashi, Vushluchoi means Pashas we don't know. The Maisekin was done through a third party. That was the Dibo of Kiddush. Okay, Vushluchoi. Now what about the Maisekin? The Chisaron Mamon? We're learning from Evet Knaini Chisaron Mamon. What about Maisekin? It's not clear, but Pashas and Rashi's mashma that we don't learn from Evet Knaini also the Maisekinyan. We only learn Chisaron Mamon. But the Maisekinyan and the Dibu, it came through Shlichus. It is done now. According to the Tosasri Azoken, it's later on with the money of later on. He tells her, if you're not going to marry me, you have to give back the money. So if you want not to give back the money, marry me, but with the money you got yesterday. It was like a pikodoi. What? Good. You have a good question on Tosasri. He asks this question because what's the answer? Mekadosh b'mil. So he says, really, Mekadosh b'pikodoi. He says, that's to be the nisach la'amois. The money has to be there. Look at Tosasri. Now.
Same mode.
What?
The same mode?
Yes. And it was a pikodoi. And if nisach la'amois, you cannot do it. But it's now. It's now. Ashra. Here we have the middle position, which is the Ritva. The Ritva says the money was giving then, and the Dibu is now from the husband. How does it work? We'll learn more about it, discuss it more. This is the side of the Sugya. We have to learn in depth.
By the midwife, someone else.
That's what I say. Bedtime, someone else comes.
Okay, we're going to speak about it.
Not a minute.
Yes, a lot of communities. So I know. Hanania ben Akash Oimer, all Zakarish Bo, for Zakarish Fiko, here by him term to Shlelana for the Manzi, no Yadin, the name is Kadej, Meirabo, not only working to say, we are the Kamus, I have one with the Honorable Committee, so him, Pangolo is Pangoli, Isado,